Hey there, I hope all of you are doing fine during this difficult time that we all are going through. And always remember what Matt Cameron once said. He said to live life to the fullest and focus on the positive. In this video, we are going to discuss about the importance of self-directed learning. So first of all, what is self-directed learning? Basically, self-directed learning is the learning of something new independently without having to rely on others. The problem that we are facing in the community is that not many people practice individualized learning, and most of those people depend on others to deliver the information to them. Self learning doesn't mean that people won't be able to ask questions and to seek help from others when needed. To try solving this problem is not easy at all, because we human beings think that getting an info delivered by someone else is better than learning it on our own, and in this video we will be discussing about the pros and the cons, and we will let you decide on which is better and what is your preferred way of learning.
Nowadays, many studies have used data to prove that SDL is effective and bring personal benefit. SDL is not only for students but also for adults. For example, in the Forbes list of the world's richest people, nearly one-third of the people do not have a college degree, which shows that self-study can also be talented. At the same time, even if they become the richest man in the world, they have not stopped learning, like Warren Buffett, who spent nearly 80% of the time reading during the workday, or Bill Gates. Nearly 50 books are read every year.
Not only in the business field, but in the scientific community, there are also many great scientists who have become famous by self-studying. For example, Michael Faraday was born in a poor blacksmith family. Because of his poor family background, Faraday never went to a formal school. He only received some Enlightenment education. During his teenage years, he was forced by the impoverished to become an apprentice in the home of a bookseller. During this time, he became very attracted to the large numbers of books available in the store. With a strong desire for knowledge, he read all kinds of books eagerly. He learned a lot of knowledge in natural science. Later, he was fortunate enough to meet Humphrey David. David hired Faraday as his laboratory assistant, and from then on, Faraday had the opportunity to display his talents and begin his scientific career. He was then called the father of electricity by later generations.
As can be seen from the above example, even in the era of information obscurity, great achievement can also be attained through self-study. Now we were in an era of big data. Everything can be obtained from the internet. Isn't that still a thing worth trying?
Besides, there are a lot of advantages of implementing self-directed learning. Firstly, learners of self-directed learning might get inspired about what they're researching, so they will search more deep into it. This might make them get interest and produce better meaning work to do their great thing in their own field. Secondly, the self-directed learnings will lead learners to learn on how to search information efficiently by referring to professionals to prevent omission and wrong information, which is important and useful for the modern age. Self-directed learning is one of the best skills to have because it can make you independent, which are one of the ways to improve our own self. This skill is useful. It can be used in all fields of work and studies. Self-directed learning is flexible. For example,
you can learn at anywhere, anytime, and any place you want, which is no need to being taught by someone else.
Now, after we finished mentioning all the advantages of self-dependent learning, I'd like to talk about the disadvantages of it. So, the first disadvantage I could think about is that self-dependent learning doesn't include people working in teams or in groups, and that's a very important skill that a student should have in order to succeed in life. And we can solve this problem by, if we enforce taking self-dependent learning in schools, maybe students after learning things alone, they could share it with their group mates or classmates. In this way, people could learn about communication skills, and at the same time they could benefit each other. Maybe if someone got a part wrong or something, they could help correct each other.
Secondly, some of you might be thinking, self-directed learning is time-consuming, and what if I misunderstood the material due to lack of professional guidance? Or what if I skip the difficult part of the material due to its difficulty leading to knowledge gaps? Well, there's nothing to worry about because we can do a hybrid of self-directed learning and traditional learning. For example, you come across a material that's very hard to learn by yourself. You can just either ask your friends, teachers, or even online for help. Basically, you don't have to strictly learn everything by yourself. You can just ask for help whenever you're really in need of it. And finally, with self-directed learning, you will go through countless trials and errors, as well as many failures and frustrations. Trials and errors are in a way a good thing because it helps you to identify your knowledge gaps, as well as it helps you to realize that this may not be the best way to go about performing this particular task. Because of this, you will be able to now identify what you lack in terms of knowledge, and you can always go through a process of self-reflection to think about how to perform this job better in the future. This allows you to continuously improve through mistakes and failures. Remember, success is never made without failures. Success is rather the persistence through failure.